What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Bravo by Gays. Happy Friday. We made it to the end of the week. It was a pretty quiet week. Not much like news going on, but we did get the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion part 3, which we're going to talk about. And we're also going to touch on Vanderpump Rules, the last episode. So let's just get right into it and start with the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion. All right, guys. Beverly Hills season 13 is a wrap. We got part 3 of the reunion, and let me tell you, it did not disappoint. First and foremost, if you did come to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion viewing party that I did at 26 in Buffalo, thank you for coming. We're going to do more stuff together with them in regards to like watch parties. So just keep an eye out for that. So that way you can make sure if you're in the area that you can come. But all in all, I was very, very happy with the way that it ended. So it started off with Kathy Hilton joining the ladies on stage. Now, so many people were like, why is Kathy there? Like, what is she doing? She wasn't on all season. Like, there's no need for her to be at the reunion. I loved the fact that Kathy was there to like show support for Kyle and really talk about how they mended their relationship after like the last season that she was on, because it ended so like dramatic and like it was traumatizing. Like they did not end on like a good note, Kathy and Kyle. So I'm happy that she showed up. Now, they did a montage kind of Kathy and Kyle's history. And in the midst of that, Erica says that Kathy is Beverly Hills and that you don't want to cross pathways with Kathy. Now, which is true, right? Like, I feel like she's Kathy Hilton. She is like insanely fucking rich and she has all the access. She probably is like the queen bee of the social circle in Beverly Hills. And if you want to be in that type of lifestyle or surround yourself with those people, you don't want to be on her bad side because she'll cut you off and then all of a sudden you are a nobody. Well, as Andy asks Erica who he thinks is the most scared of Kathy, Sutton has her medical emergency. Now, she kind of just like shakes and falls backwards. And I'm just like, what the hell's going on? Now, if you remember a little bit prior to that, she did say that she was hot, right? And she was like fussing with that cuff that she had, which hilariously enough, I was like, oh my God, those cuffs remind me of the cuffs that Lynn Curtin used to make in Real Housewives of Orange County when she was on. And she sold them at like Fred Siegel in Beverly Hills. I wonder what Lynn Curtin is up to. She's one that I always go back and think, like, I hope she's okay. Regardless, she was messing with her cuff. She was just uncomfortable. She was hot. So she ends up falling backwards. All the ladies, like, rush up to, like, see if she's okay. And Crystal is like, oh, my God, her blood pressure is, like, as high as mine was when we were in Spain. So they are like tending to Sutton, like making sure she's okay. And as they are making sure Sutton is okay, Kathy's on her phone. Erica and Kathy are talking about Christmas decorations and if Kathy still has her tree up. I'm like, what the hell is going on? So Sutton and Garcelle exit the stage. Now, I want to preface this with saying that like I watched the extended uncensored version on Peacock. So if you think that you didn't see some of the stuff that I'm talking about, it's because I watched the extended version. So if you want more content, you gotta watch the longer version on Peacock. So as they're tending to Sutton, all this stuff, they leave. And Kathy says, oh, I was about to go after her next. So it's a good way for getting out of having to be here and dealing with it. Now, I will say, so as I told you guys a couple episodes ago, I was listening to Carlos King. His podcast is amazing. And I was listening to him, and he said that he heard that Sutton passed out with something, or she fainted, like something having to do with trying to like deal with Kathy, which is like hilarious that like Kathy said like, oh, I was about to come for her next. Now, I will say, I do think like Sutton probably would be one of the ones who's most scared of Kathy, because Sutton runs like in those friend circles, and Crystal does as well. But Crystal seems to have a seemingly like good friendship with Kathy where she wouldn't be scared of her. Erica doesn't give two shits. She openly said like, I don't care about like that world or like being invited to things or whatnot. The only other person that really probably would be scared of her is Dorit, because we know Dorit loves like that lifestyle. So my thought is like, okay, she's going to come after Sutton, with especially regarding the things that she had said to Kyle and kind of like the way that she treated her throughout the entire season. Remember, there was that one point where Sutton said, you already lost 2 sisters, you want to lose another one. So it's just like things she said that like probably obviously did not sit well with Kathy. Well, Sutton left. Now, I thought that she was going to just be gone and like go rest, but no, guys, she literally like left the entire reunion. I was like, you have got to be kidding. Like, now we're not going to get to see that. Like, I would have loved to have seen Kathy confront Sutton about the way that she acted throughout the season, but season's over. We're not going to get it. Maybe next season. Who's to say if Kathy will even be back? I don't know. I don't even know if Kyle's coming back, guys. There's so many rumors swirling that people think that this is going to be Kyle's last season. I don't know. Now, we do know that Beverly Hills did get picked up for a season 14. They do start filming in about a month. So, boots on the ground, if you're in Beverly Hills and you see them filming, let me know who you see filming. I mean, I would assume all of the ladies are brought back, with the exception of maybe one. I don't know. I just have a feeling like Dorit might not be coming back next season. I don't know. She just like didn't do herself any favors this season or this reunion with the way that she kind of like handled situations with Crystal or with Garcelle. So I'll be interested to see if she does return. But again, they do start filming in about a month or so. So if you're in the LA area, keep your eyes peeled. Now, we do get into Andy talking about Mauricio and Mauricio leaving Hilton and Hyland and that causing issues in the family. Now, so many people are saying that a lot of this drama, whether it be between Kyle and Mauricio and their separation or whatnot, they're upset that it wasn't on Beverly Hills and that it's going to be featured more on Buying Beverly Hills Season 2. Andy did say something on Radio Andy where he says that like people thought that he would be mad that it wasn't released on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, but he also did state Kyle told her version on her show, and Buying Beverly Hills is Mauricio's show, and he is telling his version of what happened on his show. He's not upset about it. Kyle is the diamond holder. Mauricio is not. So we got Kyle's version of what she wanted shown on the show. And now I just think we're going to get a little bit more on Buying Beverly Hills. Now, Buying Beverly Hills kind of filmed more during like the prime of the separation. So we'll probably get more because it was a different filming time. But I think that we got a good amount of insight into what's going on in their marriage and the cause of the separation on Real Housewives. So I wasn't really upset with that. Now, into the Hilton and Hyland thing. So if you watched, I put a sneak peek up on my Instagram for season 2 of Buying Beverly Hills. Now, in that sneak peek, Mauricio talks about him leaving Hilton and Hyland. And the reason that he left was because they had such an astronomical like sales year, and he was responsible for a little over 19% of the income for the company that sales year. So he wanted some type of equity in the company in the form of like a partnership. So he presented that to Rick Hilton, and ultimately, the decision came down to them not offering that to him. So he chose to leave and form his own company. Now, on Wednesday's reunion episode, Kathy says that Rich wished him well and told him that the door would always be open for him, just not to poach any of his staff. And it turns out that Mauricio did with a couple of people, which caused issues with the family, be it between Kathy, Rick, and Mauricio, or Kathy and Kyle. It just did not it wasn't the best thing. We do get a brief moment in the reunion where Kyle kind of explains that in Hilton Mansky team, and that was Mauricio's team of agents within Hilton and Hyland. And it seems as though he took a few people from that team to go over to the agency, which I'm thinking those are the people that she was saying that maybe he poached, but who knows? Maybe we'll get more of it on Buying Beverly Hills. I don't know. I don't think that they will really get into much depth about the Hilton and Hyland and Mauricio and like the separation of employment in that sense. It's not that kind of show, but I mean, it would be interesting, and I do want to know more about it. But I'm glad that they touched on it, so we got an insight into the reasoning behind that. Now, guys, after this is going on, this portion of the conversation is had, we obviously, like I said, we learned that Sutton went to the hospital. Andy had to grab Sutton's phone, Garcelle's phone, because they were leaving the filming. They were leaving like the stage. And he goes, and Merce's ashes. And Erica Jane goes, Merce is here again? And someone was like, I thought we let him go in Spain. Well, it turns out that Sutton did keep a few of his ashes and didn't let them all go when they were in Spain and released them into the water. But it was just so freaking funny because none of the ladies knew that Sutton brought Merce to the reunion. I can't. I hope somewhere Merce is dying laughing that he is such a big moment of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills this season. It really is hilarious. So we move on from that. We do get into the Kyle and Mauricio of it all now. Now, they do this video montage of Kyle and Mauricio's history, and it was very I don't even know how to explain it. For me, it was hard to watch. We do get this montage. Excuse me, Grace, can we cut that out? Sorry, I'm coughing. All right. So we do get this video montage of the history of Kyle and Mauricio's love and their relationship. Now, as they go into the video montage, Andy says, and now the marriage and Kyle's future are left hanging in the balance. And Kyle just goes, oh, thanks, Andy. And he was like, sorry, watch. And it cuts to this video. And it's a portrait of Kyle and Mauricio, and it just rips. It tears. I'm like, oh my God, they are doing her so dirty. She had to film all of this. Now she's got to relive it. And you guys do this video of her love story. Granted, they need to because it is obviously a part of the story. And they needed content to support what they were going to show. But I was like, damn, what? Not the ripped photo. That was just so sad to watch. But it started with photos of their trips and a brief history of their love, and then goes into them fighting. And Kyle, at the end of that, at the end of the video, they get into talking about the relationship. Kyle says that life really took over with them. And then there was work and being with the kids. So some of the issues that they had maybe early on in their marriage never got resolved. And she said there was something that he did that made her lose trust in him. Now, when in their marriage that happened, I don't know, but something did occur. And she thought that they would be able to kind of get over that and get their marriage back to where it was, but it didn't happen. Now, Kyle also says that rumors of cheating over the years caused her to kind of like chip away at the trust that she had for Mauricio in their marriage, which obviously, I mean, the internet has been rumors have been swirling all over the internet for years. And I mean, it's been ever really since kind of the show started. Like, you'll remember they also did talk about the tabloids that were brought on the trip that Lisa had told Brandy to like make sure that they were like brought so that way it can be brought up. But there was that, like, there's always like random girls kind of like just around. I don't know. It's just, there was never really any confirmation as to him doing anything. So I think people kind of just overlooked it because on television, they just seemed like such a happy couple that although there were like the rumors there, people were like, nah, like, we don't believe it. Like, they're so happy and they're so in love. Remember in that finale episode, she said people were so upset and they were like, oh my God, like, if you guys can't last, like, nobody can. Like, you guys were the definition of like a happy couple, like all this stuff. But to find out that it wasn't all rainbow and sunshines is like, okay, like it really like humanizes them to like know that they then like also have their own problems, you know what I mean? But I don't know, it's just so sad. I just love them together. It's going to be tough if they actually go through with the divorce and they're not together anymore. But regardless, they got to do what's best for them, and we'll just like go along the journey that they go on as long as they let us into their lives. Now, they get into the Dancing with the Stars situation because Andy does say that he did not have Mauricio being a contestant on Dancing with the Stars on his bingo card. It just seemed very off character for Mauricio. And Kyle even said that like if their marriage was in the place that it used to be in, she would never had said yes to letting him do Dancing with the Stars. Now, I don't know if it was because like she would just get jealous of him being like with another woman. And then Erica says that it is very much a partnership kind of competition show. Like she says, even when you're doing the waltz, like your pelvises are like on, like you're on each other. So it's very intimate. So I feel like the fact that like he did it now, she just like didn't care because she genuinely seems like she's over him. Like in the entire last season, she just seemed like she was just like, do whatever. I'm going to do whatever. She's not here for any of it. And then we do get into Andy asking a question from a fan. Now, the question was, Kyle is dancing around the reason for her split and why won't she just spit out what that reason is? It really is like the question on everyone's mind, but Kyle's response was because it's nobody's fucking business. Now, a lot of people might say like, yes, it is our business because you are on a reality show and like you signed up for it. I would say true if she didn't give us any insight into the separation at all, but she did give us like, she gave us info. Like she told us what was going on. She like was open about the fact that there were things in their marriage that weren't working and that they had a tough year and like all this stuff. So if there was a specific reason, I don't think she owes it to anybody to say exactly what it was, unless you're going to pay her a gajillion dollars. But like she has the right to keep some stuff private. So I get where she came with that response saying that it's nobody's fucking business. Now, we get into the Morgan Wade of it. So Andy asks Kyle if there's anything going on with Morgan. Now, it takes her a minute to say no, which I was like, okay, girl, if there's not, then why are you just flat out saying no? And she does end up saying no, but it's like, it was just like that awkward silence where everyone was just like, why does she have to think about this? You either are or you aren't. She does say that she does love Morgan as a friend. She says that there's nothing going on with them. Who's to say if anything may go on with them in the future? The girls did say that some of them thought that they were dating. Crystal was very open about it, saying that like she talked to Kathy and asked, like, I don't know if she said she asked her, but she like insinuated that like maybe they were girlfriends. They did say that like the photos that they were posting of them together, because they're always like either sitting on each other's lap or like hugging each other, that it does come off very much as them being girlfriends. Who knows if they are? Maybe she's just not comfortable with saying it yet. Maybe she is waiting until like a divorce is final. I don't know. It's none of my business. I also really don't freaking care. I just know that everybody is so like, they just want her to say it, but she's not there yet. Regardless, it was hilarious at the end where Andy says, well, who knows? Maybe next year we'll see Morgan on this stage. Kind of insinuating like, you'll be in a different spot next year in your relationship. Maybe you guys would have finally like admitted it and like gone public. But I don't know. I just told you guys a little bit ago, I don't even know if she's coming back next season. So who's to say if Morgan's going to be on the stage next season? We're going to have to wait and see. But overall, season 13 of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills started off a little slow. I got very much into it in the middle and going into the end of it. I will say I think that Erica had a redemption season. I'm a fan of Erica again. You guys know I love Garcelle. I love Crystal. I love Sutton. I didn't really care for Anna Marie. So I highly doubt she'll be back next season. And like I said earlier, I don't know if Dorit's coming back either. Who's to say? Even if the two of them go, I still think that there's a strong cast for season 14 with a couple newbies. But that's a wrap on Beverly Hills season 13. I enjoyed it. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments. All right, guys, we got to talk a little bit about Vanderpump Rules. What an episode. I mean, we just got to get into it. It starts off with, I'm going to start off with Scheana meeting with Lisa. There's a couple parts I'm going to skip over because I really don't care to talk about Tom Sandoval, so we'll just skip over those. But where I'm starting off, Scheana goes to Lisa's house and talks with her about the trip to Tahoe. She said it was emotionally draining and that she cried so much her eyelashes hurt. And I mean, par for the course for Scheana. She's so dramatic. She's our dramatic little queen. And then she starts talking about how she's going through stages of grief over the loss of her friendship with Tom. Now, I get it. You're upset that your friendship has ended. But whose friendship is more important? Your friendship with Tom or your friendship with Ariana? Now, you do have the right to be upset about losing Tom, but I don't think you need to be this kind of like upset about it. Like it almost feels like you're like someone died. He's still there. And it's just a little bit much. Now, while she's there talking with Lisa, Scheana does bring up the Dancing with the Stars thing and how Ariana's boyfriend was the one to kind of like break it to her that the announcement was coming out that she was going to be on Dancing with the Stars. And Lisa's like, oh no, when I was on Dancing with the Stars, you said that like this is all that you wanted. And Scheana's like, yeah. And I even started taking dance classes this year, like in case I was going to get Dancing with the Stars. And it was just a punch in the gut. Now, I don't know how Dancing with the Stars works, where if you kind of have to pitch yourself or if casting comes to you. But I don't think they would have been like, we need Scheana Shay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she didn't really have that big of a season last year. I mean, she had her wedding, but I don't know. You know what I mean? Unless her team, if she has a team, maybe they were going to pitch it and maybe they were going to pitch her to them for it. Who's to say? But she does say that it was a punch in the gut, but then she also says like, oh, like Ariana has come a long way since she's been my backup dancer. And does like this evil smirk where it's like, okay, girl, like now you're just like, you're just like digging. Like you're sticking that knife into the side. It just wasn't a good look. It wasn't a good look whatsoever. I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, Scheana's always making it about her. And she really is. That's where she loses me, is that like she always has to bring it back to something that affects her. She can never just let a situation be. She always has to, again, make it about her. Yeah, it's a lot. Now, I love Shishu. I love her. That's the only like gripe that I have with her. Aside from that, like I love seeing her as a mom. I love watching her and Brock. And of course, I love seeing her do her like music, her screamo, emo stuff. Like that stuff is fun. It's just like this Tom Sandoval stuff that is just like, girl, like this, stop. You're trying to take that moment away from Ariana. And yes, you can be mad, but it's just like, are you gunning for an Oscar? Like, I don't know. It's a lot. All right. Now we do see Lala and Ariana meet up, and Lala tells Ariana that like Scheana was really getting ripped apart on the internet because while they were in Tahoe, the cast took a picture with a fan for her birthday. The fan went up to them and said, oh my God, can I get a photo? Scheana got ripped apart because she was standing next to Tom Sandoval in that photo. Everyone has seen the photo. It came out right like as filming was going on. So Lala tells Ariana, like, you could have come to Scheana's defense. Like, you could have said something like, I love Scheana. She's such a good friend. Like, back off. And Ariana was saying that, like, she doesn't want anything that she puts in her stories to kind of end up in the headlines. But there's also like a part where you need to be like, well, okay, I should be a good friend. Now, we do end up learning that Ariana eventually did say something about the photo and telling people to kind of like lay off of Scheana. But it also, Lala had a point because she was like, this girl literally caught a restraining order for you for what these two people did to you. And you can't even jump to her defense to say it was just a photo that was taken. Like, she's not wrong. Like, Scheana literally had to go to court for this. Like, it was just a lot. Now, we get more girl time, which, you know what? I'm living for it. I love seeing the ladies all together. We got to see Christina Kelly. I love me some Christina Kelly. Now the ladies meet up. It's Scheana, Lala, Katie, and Christina Kelly. Now, Christina's like, listen, I'm in a mom bubble. I need some drama. Like, tell me what is going on. What's the tea? Let's spill it while we're all together. And Katie tells her, like, oh, it is, who do you think we're on the outs with? Obviously, it's Tom Sandoval, right? So Christina starts talking, and she asks Scheana, like, do you think that Tom is more upset about losing your friendship than he is with losing his relationship with Ariana? And Scheana says yes. Now, I feel like towards the end of their relationship, Tom really probably didn't even care. And yes, it may be true, but it's also a little delusional for you to think that like he's more upset about losing your friendship than he is about losing his 9-year relationship with this woman, which obviously, again, he was probably so over at the end. He was obviously having like a 7-month affair with Raquel. So like he was already mined out of the relationship. So it could be semi-true, but it's still weird for you to say out loud that you think that he's more upset about that. Now, Katie is so over hearing about Tom Sandoval. She is like, I'm done. I do not want to like hear about it anymore, because Scheana's telling the story about the upfronts that we've all heard 100 times about how Tom was the only one that invited her into pictures during the upfronts when the show like first started. And Katie's like, let it go. That was so long ago. You got to let it go. And Lala is like, quick to defend Scheana, and she's like, she doesn't have to let it go. Like, she can let it go in her own time. And Katie is just like, I'm glad I left the house for this conversation. Like, she is over it. She does not want to be there anymore. It was just hilarious. Katie is such a boss bitch. I love her so much. You guys know I love me some Katie Maloney. Guys, we got the fucking worst part of the episode that came next, and it was Joe. Why the hell? Not one person asked for this girl to be on our screens. She came in looking like a hot ass mess. She was acting crazy. She was like jittery. I'm like, girl, are you good? Like, did you have 5 fucking energy drinks before you went to Sir? Like, she just looks crazy. Now, here's the thing. Everyone is saying, like, Joe, we've been presented Joe as, like, she's a hairstylist and she was friends with Kristen. Did you see her confessional look? Did she not do her own hair? I mean, I'm not going to trust a woman that let Tom Schwartz dye his hair blonde. He looks crazy as hell. And I love me some Tom Schwartz. I just don't need to see Joe. She just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I don't even know her, and I already don't like her. But that's what I got to say about Joe. Hopefully we don't see her anymore. I know she did an interview where she said that she only filmed a couple of scenes. So hopefully these were the only scenes that we had to deal with. Now, if you look on my Instagram, I posted the first 7 minutes for next week's episode. I don't recall, but she might be in one scene there, but then hopefully that's the end. Because I don't need her in confessionals. I don't care what she has to say. She can be Tom's best friend, sister, fuck buddy. We don't need to see her on the show. We got to my favorite part of the episode, which was Allie's astrology night. Now, we must protect Allie at all costs. This, she's not even a little girl. This woman, when she was little, said that she wanted to be like the next Taylor Swift. I mean, she is just so sweet. I love Allie Luer. I am a full-on Allie Luer stan account. So if James fucks this up, I will be so upset because she is a sweet baby angel. Now, as they're getting through, like going through everyone's astrology charts, they do Ariana's, and Ariana was talking about how everyone thinks that she is she's a millionaire and all this stuff. And she confesses that about a week prior to Scandival, she was on her last $2,000. Now, I understand that like she bought a house and then she was dumping money into her business. I don't understand though, like all of these people are crying broke. Well, no, not all of them. Well, Scheana, Tom, and Ariana. Now, Tom and Ariana have a reason to be crying broke. They bought a couple $1 million house and they have businesses and all of that. But I just like, it goes to show that you really don't know how much these people make. Like everybody really does think that like these reality stars are like rolling in the dough. And come to find out they only have like a couple $1,000s in their bank account. So it's like, oh my God, stars, they're just like us. You know what I mean? So regardless, it was just interesting to see. I love that Allie went through and read each girl's astrology chart, and it really was so like spot on with who each of them are. I want Allie to read my chart. Do you think if I slide into her DMs, she will do a chart reading for me? I'm going to ask her. I'm going to send her a message and ask her, and we'll see what she says. If she does, I'm going to share the results on the pod. I'm going to DM her after this and see. Maybe if I can like pay her for it. Like, is it a business? We'll find out. Now, we do get into a beef between Lala and Katie. Now, Lala is talking about Ariana and how she would react with the group hanging out with Tom. And Ariana is firmly planted in the fact that she will not be friends with anyone that is hanging out with Tom. She does not want him having access to her life via someone in her inner circle. She has every right to feel that way, but it's making her friends feel a little uneasy about kind of repairing their relationship with Tom Sandoval. And Katie is like firmly team Ariana, which obviously she should be. She's also had such a tumultuous past with Tom Sandoval. So like, I get why Katie is acting the way that she is, but it's causing a rift between Lala and Katie now because Katie's like so fed up about hearing about Tom Sandoval. So she's like mocking Lala, like, oh God, like I'm going to be scared. And then Lala's like, don't do that. And Lala, she's like, you don't want to do that with me. And Katie's like, what? Say it with your whole chest, bitch. Like, she's like, they're like going at each other. I think Katie called her a bitch twice. I was like, yo, old street Lala is going to come out and beat your ass, Katie. Can you stop? Can you please? I need you on the show. Bring it back a couple notches. I just understand what Ariana is saying. It's just so hard to maybe kind of just hold such high expectations for these people, because as we're watching the group with Tom, and then we're watching them with Ariana. And it seems like they want to fix everything with Tom, but they're so nervous about what Ariana's going to do. Now, Ariana firmly did say, like, I'll walk away, like, if that's what's easier. But I just don't think that she needs to do that. I don't know. It's such a tough spot to be in, where it's almost like, okay, I'll film to make the show, but we're not going to hang out while I'm not making the show because I don't want Tom to have access to my life. I don't know. It's like, where do we go from here? We got the mid-season trailer. It looks so good. There is still so much drama that's going to come. We still get the like love triangle with Tom, that one girl, and then Katie, which I cannot wait to see how that plays out. I'm so excited for that. Now, guys, do not forget that on Tuesday, it is the season 1 premiere of The Valley. Now, we're getting another one of those epic transitions where it's going to go from the end of Vanderpump Rules into the first episode of The Valley. So keep your eye out for how that transition happens. I can't wait for it. There's been a couple teasers of The Valley. They're over on my Instagram. There's also a couple sneak peeks from the premiere episode that I also posted. So make sure that you guys go over and check those out. Guys, we're at the end. Wow. Beverly Hills and Vanderpump Rules. That was a good 2 days worth of television. Now, there wasn't any like breaking news that came out this week. So I don't have any really hot topics to go over with you. But guys, just make sure that you're rating, reviewing, subscribing, inviting your friends to come and listen, join the party, leave comments, hit me up in the DMs, do what you got to do. But until next week, I hope you guys have the best weekend. Love ya. Bye.